Happy Friday, everyone. I traded Tesla this morning terribly. I am embarrassed to have to recap this. So I broke my rule of waiting for the first 5 minutes. I really thought that this was going to sell off really hard at the open. So I took a really small position right here, as you can see on the 1 minute. It was coming to test the VWAP. And I took a small position short, and I put my stop loss right above right below the 800 level, which was above the moving averages and right above the VWAP. And I wanted to give it a little bit of room because we all know Tesla has massive pullbacks, which is why I also took a small position as well. Well, I had a hard stop in, and the slippage was terrible. I mean, it jumped up through my stop and I got a terrible fill. So luckily it was a starter position and it didn't hurt too terribly bad, but it still was horrible. So then I took it a couple more times, tried to get the breakdown. And because of what happened early in the morning, I kept my stop very, very tight. As a matter of fact, I went short here, as you can see on the 5 minute when it lost the VWAP, and I got stopped out at break even. And then I went short again, added to my position when I thought it was breaking out, came back, stopped me out, and then I did the same exact thing. I went short again, added at the breakout, and then finally got an okay move on it, but I still was in the hole with the early morning trade that I took on this. So like I said, this was a horrible trade. I'm embarrassed to recap it, but what can you do? And then I traded FSR. My attention was drawn to this early this morning when one of the ladies from BBT has a women's group, and one of the ladies mentioned it earlier in the morning. I kind of kept it on the back burner. I saw, and later in the day when I was trying to find something to trade, I pulled it up and I saw that on the 5 minute, it was actually looking kind of like a double top. You have these large wicks to the top side here pushing up through this 1950 level, and then you have a second attempt with a doji, and I was kind of watching it to see if it was going to make a new low. But as I was watching it, I noticed that on the 15-minute chart, it almost started looking like an ABCD pattern happening. So then I took it as a breakout when it made a new high. What I do with breakouts or reversals, breakouts almost have a feeling to me like I'm blowing up a really big balloon, and it's like not moving that much, but it's very big and it's about to pop at any moment. I hope that makes sense. That's what breakouts feel like to me. When you have a reversal, it's more, you don't have that tight feeling like something's going to explode. That's how I feel. So anyhow, I took this as a breakout, and then after I saw this 15-minute candle close as a doji, it also started putting up a head and shoulders on the 1 minute chart as well. I took two partials, and then it came back and stopped me out at break even. And then as I was watching it find this top, the first attempt I went short. It stopped me out at break even, and then I waited on this right shoulder right here to start curling over, and you have the 9 and the 20 also crossing over and curling down, and the 50 is coming up to meet it, and this is all on the 1 minute chart. After I saw this 1 minute doji, I went short with a very tight stop above this right shoulder, and I took 2 10% partials, and the rest 50 of my remaining position. And then I ended up exiting the rest of my position when it made a new 15-minute high, as you can see right here. And my last trade was on Twitter. This is an Amon style reversal. He was actually on in the chat, and one of the members called it out as it was very extended from the VWAP and all the moving averages. And it was, and it just did not have the juice to push up through this 73.20 level. And when it made a new 5-minute low, and it looked like it couldn't push up through this level anymore, it just didn't have the juice, I took a short position with a tight stop above this 73.20 level. And then I took 2 25% partials at the moving averages on the 1-minute chart. And then the rest were 50% of my remaining position. I left quite a bit of money on the table with this one, and I will admit that I was getting very bored with this trade, and it was taking a while to break down. So I decided, I did have my stop at break even, but after it just sat here and consolidated for so long, I went ahead and moved my stop. If it made a new 15-minute high, and it did, it came, whipped me out, and then continued to go down for a nice run, I believe, yes, to the VWAP. So I hope you all had a great Friday, and don't forget the market's closed on Monday for a holiday, so we will see you Tuesday. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the BBT channel. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Bye.